been using the Asus ROG Zephyrus M16 laptop every day since December of 2021. In this video I'll be giving you my honest review of this laptop after using it for over 1 year. Let's start at the beginning. At first I was using this laptop just for school, content creation and a little bit of gaming. In the initial stage, there were a few bugs such as loud fan noise and the laptop getting warm. But after doing a couple of troubleshooting on my own, I was able to fix all those issues. Another issue that I had, which is still an issue, is the battery life. But don't get me wrong, this is pretty normal, especially for laptops that are built for gaming. For general tasks like just browsing the internet, I'm able to get like 4 to 6 hours of battery life. But if I'm gaming, I expect no more than 2 hours of battery life, and when I'm editing my videos, I expect no more than 3 hours of battery life. But that is not a problem for me, since 95% of the time when I have my M16 laptop, it is just on my desk at home connected to this docking station from Ugreen. This docking station is a game changer. I would recommend this to anyone who has a laptop. With this docking station, I'm able to connect up to 2 monitors at 4K 60. For me, I only use one extra monitor, which becomes my main monitor. The display on this is beautiful. I use this to edit all my videos and pictures, and you can tell by the quality of my content that this has a pretty good color accuracy. On the docking station you get 2 USB-A with a speed of 10 GB per second and also a USB Type-C with a speed of 10 GB per second, and yes, 10 GB per second is pretty fast. Using those USB ports, you'll be able to transfer a 10 GB file in 16.5 seconds. So if you usually get up for a coffee break when you're transferring files, sorry to break the news to you, but no more coffee breaks for you, because your files will be transferred in seconds. The USB Type-C port also supports media display, so if your monitor supports USB-C, you could just use that port instead of using the display port or the HDMI port. When you connect your display to this dock, you can either choose to mirror your screen or extend your screen. What I like about this docking station is that you can use it to power and charge your laptop at up to 100 watts, which is pretty fast compared to other chargers out there. If you want, you could also use that port to charge your phone while you're working on your laptop. Also, while you have the laptop connected to the docking station, you could connect to the internet with speeds up to 1000 megabytes per second using the Ethernet port that is on the docking station. For me, I use this port especially when I'm playing online games, because wired connection is always better than wireless connection while you're playing games. Ugreen really designed this docking station to be almost perfect. You don't have to worry about the docking station being overheated, because it is designed with dual vents, cooling silica gel, cooling aluminum gel, and high-ten pads. The docking station is very light compared to other docking stations out there. You can literally just pick this up and put it in your bag and head out to your next location with your laptop. The docking station also serves as an adapter because it provides a Ethernet port and a bunch of USB-C ports, and also some HDMIs and display ports. One of the benefits of using the Ugreen docking station is that you only have to touch one of the ports that is on your laptop. Everything else is connected to the docking station. I like this because I don't have to worry about wear and tear on my ports from plugging in and out stuff on the ports on my laptop. I got this docking station because my laptop was looking a little bit messy with all the cables plugged in almost all the ports on my laptop. Once I unboxed the Ugreen docking station, all I had to do was plug in the USB to USB-C cable from my laptop to this port that is on the docking station that has a desktop icon underneath it. Once I did that, all I had to do was download and install the drivers. After that, I was all set and ready to use the docking station. As I said earlier on, I would recommend this to anyone, whether you're on Windows or Mac OS. This docking station supports Windows XP all the way up to Windows 11. For Mac OS, it supports all the version of Mac OS, and yes, it does support the new MacBooks with the M1 and M2 chips. Check out the links in the description if you want to check out one of these Ugreen docking station. This laptop has 11th gen Intel i7 processor with 16GB of RAM, 500GB of SSD, and the Nvidia GeForce RTX 2050 Ti laptop GPU. It came with Windows 10 installed, but I upgraded to Windows 11, and surprisingly after that upgrade I haven't had any issues with it. I say that because most of the time when you upgrade a computer to Windows 11, it tends to not work as expected. It either comes with bugs or glitches. But yeah, the only thing that I upgraded was the operating system. I try not to store a lot of files on my laptop. I try to move the files that I'm not using to my Samsung T7 Shield SSD. In terms of RAM, at first I thought that I would need to upgrade to a 32GB of RAM. But honestly, I don't have any issues running multiple apps at the same time. I usually just have Premiere Pro open and my internet browser, which is Google Chrome, so you know that takes up a lot of RAM, and I also have my File Explorer open to drag and drop footage. For the GPU, I haven't seen the need for a better graphics card because it gives me enough frames per second whenever I'm gaming, and it also renders my timeline in Premiere Pro and After Effects pretty fast. Now in terms of hardware, I haven't had any issues with it. Most people are concerned about the vents being below the screen. They believe that it will damage the screen. But I can safely say that my screen hasn't been affected by the warm air that is coming out of the vent. Another hardware issue that people are concerned about is the rubber coating on the laptop. Most people are wondering if it will strip off over time, and yes, it will. In my case, I saw stripping right here, and I believe that is because that is where I rest my laptop when it is mounted on my laptop stand. Also, my Nvidia sticker came off, which is not really a big issue, but the Intel sticker is still there. I added this Nanoleaf sticker because I'm a fan of Nanoleaf lights. I will take those Nanoleaf lights over any RGB strips any day. On the back of the screen, the plastic metal strip started to come off. I noticed this about a month ago. The camera still works fine, all my keys work fine, the RGB on the keyboard works fine. If I'm being real, I really don't have any hardware issues with this laptop after using it over 1 year straight. One thing to note though is that in the first 8 months or so of using this laptop, I was bringing it to classes, to libraries, to lab, and all over the place, putting it on different surfaces and actually using the trackpad and the keyboard that is on the laptop. But after that, for the most part, it sits on my desk mounted on the laptop stand. From there, I connect my Keychron K2 keyboard and my Logitech MX Master 3 mouse. So if I'm being honest, I really don't touch my laptop that much as I used to do in the beginning. But since I'm not touching it as often, I have to clean it every single month or so, because the finished material that it is made from, it is like a dust magnet. After over 1 year of using this laptop, I have to say that it has been great for the most part. I'm still able to edit my videos and pictures. The export time is pretty fast. Just for reference, I shoot at 4K 30 frames per second on my iPhone, so maybe if it's from a higher end camera it will struggle more to edit. But with 4K 30 frames per second footage, I'm able to play back in full, but it starts to lag whenever I add effects and other fancy stuff to my timeline. But if I want to play back in full, I just have to render my timeline and it will play back in full. Usually the rendering takes only like a couple minutes. When I'm editing pictures in Photoshop or Lightroom, I have no issues at all. Same for when I'm browsing the internet or just writing my scripts, I have no issues there. While I'm playing a little bit of game, I also don't have any issues there, but bear in mind I'm not like a hardcore gamer, but for the most part I get enough frames per second when I'm gaming. If I want, I could stream from this laptop because it's definitely capable of doing that. Oh, and remember I said earlier on in the video that 95% of the time I use my laptop on the docking station, while the other 5% is when I take it with me to the park just to chill and edit videos and pictures or just write a script. This is not the brightest screen, but it does get bright enough for me when I use it outside. However, as mentioned before earlier on in the video, the battery is not the best, so I try to have a full charge on it before I head out to the park. So yeah, I can safely say that after 1 year of using the Asus ROG Zephyrus M16 laptop, everything still works perfectly. It has a really cool design. I love this laptop because it's the machine that I use to edit all of my content and will continue to use to make all of my content. So feel free to ask me any questions about the Asus ROG Zephyrus M16 in the comment section. That is it for this video, guys. If you reach this far in the video, please give this video a like, and while you're there doing that, just go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Peace. By the way, huge shout out to all the guys who actually asked me questions about the Asus ROG Zephyrus M16 after using it for over 1 year.